This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
Visit abaeservices.com for fast medical transcription service. This podcast episode is brought to you by AB Music Creative.
Hollywood Actors Panel. How long has it been? What's your participation in it? Why does it even exist?
The Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel the concept began in 1998 when I became an actor. I did that because the workshops I went to how to become an actor and how to do this, how to do that, and how to avoid didn't really speak for me. It only spoke for those who I feel has an advantage with the information to go forward. But for me, as an Asian American, but specifically as a Filipino American, which we're not even represented at all, I felt that I should maybe start a panel of some sort. I don't know what it was at the time, but I knew what the idea is.
So you had a memo in your head.
I had a memo in my head. The thing is that I had the idea in '98. I implemented it in 2015 because of three reasons.
I was going to ask you. Number one, Jerry Maguire, and what happened to? No, just kidding.
In '98, when I became an actor, I was a nobody, unknown, so no one knew who I was. Second, so I didn't have a reputation, like for people to trust me, right? I have to gain trust for people. Like if I had to get Dante Basco, for example, he has to know who maybe he could, but I feel that
that was your opinion.
That's my opinion, because like I know how the industry works sometimes, because I worked before I became an actor, I was a PA and all that stuff, and I knew how, you can't want to, eggshells on the floor, and you want to,
right.
You have to say yes to everything, whatever. But because I was an actor, I was unknown. Second reason is that there were not many Filipino American actors during that time. So
Abe was around, right? You familiar with Abe?
I'm familiar with Abe, okay. But I didn't know him at the time.
Okay.
But I wanted to get, and I have to agree with Ted in this sense because I saw his interview. If I were to put the panel together, it has to be those who already broke the ceiling, those who are working, and those who you can see on TV and film on a weekly or whatever basis. I've been requested by other actors who I don't know, who are as unknown as I am, or currently I am, or whatever, that want to be part of the panel. I said, well, I'm really gonna have to turn you down.
So you turned people down?
I have.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. If you saw my last panels, you would see who you're gonna be with. Unless I do, at some point I did something where like I would have three actors who are well known and have one actor who is just starting out. Maybe I could get away with that.
So Ruben's one of them. No.
Ruben I haven't had in the panel yet.
Rob Schneider, would he be considered in the panel?
I don't know about him.
Okay.
I don't know.
So what would the criteria be, Edwin?
Mainstream.
So mainstream, ceiling broken.
Mm-hmm.
To people who don't understand what that meant, it actually means that you've made your mark or tapped the board somehow, or have gotten, or have done something significant, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So the Basco brothers would be there.
I was hoping to get them this year, but I didn't.
So what do you do in the panel?
In the panel, in the beginning, it was two Filipino American actors on TV and film, and then and it will always be 4 spots. So 2 Filipino American actors, and the other 2 will be either an agent or director, agent, casting director, or a talent rep. And they don't have to be Filipino; it can just be
anybody. Yeah.
Anybody. And I was able. So the first panel in 2015, I had Eugene Cordero before he did Kong.
Yeah.
I had Tess Paras, and I had an agent from. I forgot the name of the agency. I'm so sorry. I had Janet Cha. That's the agent. And then I had Billy the Moda, casting director.
Okay.
And that went well. And
so what do you do? So you invite people to. So what do they do?
What do you mean?
Like people in the panel. So now they're there. So you have these two. And this started in 2015, right?
That's the other reason, because the reason it took so long for me to do it in 2015 because I couldn't find a nonprofit that was matching my mission statement.
Right.
And at that time, by 2015, I met the folks at Film Creative. And this is with Rex Sampaga, Walter.
Rex! I love Rex.
Walter Boholz and Edward J. Malinin.
Yes.
Film Creative. And I checked the other places and it wasn't really matching. But when I checked them out, I'm like, this is going to be a beautiful relationship, I feel.
So you approached them.
Well, they approached me.
Wow.
Because they approached me not because of the panel, because they had no idea what I had planned. But they asked me, like, how would you like to be a part of the leadership in 2015? And I was not really looking, even at that time, I was looking as an actor, and I'd done so many, really strange roles, and roles that I don't play Filipino. I play Kiwi, Alaskan, Asian, Chinese waiter, whatever.
Never a Filipino?
Never a Filipino, and I feel like identity crisis here. So I feel like I want to work on something like a Filipino as anything, and I worked on a film called Brown Soup Thing in 2008. Ed Malinin wrote and directed it. He cast everyone he knew, which included John Briones and Jason Rogel, Manny Pacquiao, everybody that was there, and I played one of the many uncles of the main lead actress. Anyway, because of our working together, and we also did a magazine show on YouTube together. We interviewed different people, but because of that, I think he sensed that I had this leadership quality, I guess, and I was a producer before, so maybe that's it too. He asked me to join Film Creative. I said, great. I thought about it 2 days, because I wasn't sure. But I had this idea, and I approached him like, hey, listen, I will join if I can implement my actors panel with your organization.
And they said yes.
They said yes.